The Moto Buds Plus, sound by Bose. First time I heard of this, I was intrigued. First thing I did is I checked the price, and then when I found out it's $130 US, I went straight to final pair as soon as I could. I've been living with this for a while and I've been testing out the sound, how it functions with my devices, and I want to share my thoughts. This is a guy with thoughts. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if this helps out. Motorola has been making earbuds for a while, but they've never done anything that sets them apart and sets them in front of everybody, the competition. So partnership with Bose is something unique, and I've never seen Bose do anything like this with any other brands. I've never seen a Bose logo slapped onto another product that's not Bose's. $130 is a crazy price. You cannot find a brand new Bose product for that much. I mean, it's not a Bose product, but the Bose branding on the front is not just marketing. Bose has actually worked on something. When I think of Bose, the first thing that comes to my mind is sound quality, and the second thing is noise cancellation. I mean, their earbuds and headphones are known for that. So the good news here is Bose has actually worked on the sound and the noise cancelling. So these buds have a signature. They're just not any random run-of-the-mill earbuds that Motorola is just throwing out there with Bose branding and marketing. No, they actually worked on the sound. And I'm glad to say that the app that comes with this is really good. It is really easy to use. I'll get to that in a bit. But let's start off with the design. These are made of plastic, as you can see. It's a hard plastic, so in a way it's good for durability. If it would have been a soft touch plastic, they can get a bit messy after a while. Look at these Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. I mean, I can admit that the use was really rough, thrown in with the keys and whatnot in the pocket. But still, this can happen with a soft touch. Coming back to the design, it's a clamshell design, as you can see. These buds magnetically attach and charge. I've not had any issues with them falling out or any kind of weakness in the connection. I'm saying connection, I meant the magnets, they're really strong. The buds themselves are made of plastic and they're really lightweight, and after a while you won't even realize you're wearing them other than the ear tips going inside your ear. Another important design feature I would say is how they work with multiple devices. I know it's some people might say it's not a design feature, but I feel this is a design of the product, how it's designed to be used. Monday to Friday, these buds were connected to my laptop and my phone. I would be listening to music and then I would get a phone call. The music would pause. I would pick up the phone call, have my conversation. The conversation ends and the music starts playing automatically. And it's a Windows laptop and an Android phone. So, I mean, it's not a Mac and Apple kind of an ecosystem thing. These buds just handle it seamlessly. They are also designed very well with fast pair. The first time you get the buds, you open the case and the earbuds are going to show up on your Android phone or any Android phone that supports fast pair. It's almost on par with the AirPod Pros. The call quality on these buds are really good. I mean, there's nothing to talk about. It's just, it gets through very well. The other side can hear you properly and you can hear them clearly. So, I mean, there's not much to talk about here. I'll come to the audio quality and the sound, the music, the main thing that we're all here for in a bit. But let me just talk about the few more a bit of the housekeeping, basically, as I could say. So let's get a bit more technical. These come with Bluetooth 5.3, they have Dolby Atmos, as I said. Head tracking is available on there. It's got triple microphones. I mean, it's important if you want to have noise cancelling. The important part here in these specs is it has dual drivers, a 6mm tweeter and an 11mm woofer. I mean, you don't have to get into the technical details. It's just one driver for dedicated bass and one driver for all the higher frequencies. And when I get to the sound part, you will understand the impact these two separate drivers make. It almost makes me feel like you need a third driver to get the mids in. That's the hint I'm gonna leave. These are water repellent. They don't really have any IPX rating of any sort, but I mean, they're fine with the gym. I used it in the gym and they were absolutely fine. They didn't fall off as well. given that I wasn't running too much, but while running they don't move around much. Doing weight training and work on the machine is absolutely fine. If you're moving your head too much, just side to side, they might fall off, but I have like a 75% confidence that they will not fall off. These buds are feature packed. They have wireless charging. You just throw it on a wireless charging pad, they'll be charged in no time. They've got Dolby Atmos support, but then you need a Motorola phone, so I mean, unless you have one, no one's gonna get it. Head tracking is another one which you need a Motorola phone to get, so I couldn't test that out. I don't have a Motorola phone, but I'm gonna take the word for it for now, I guess. These buds also charge with USB Type-C, and as I mentioned, wireless charging. If your phone has reverse wireless charging, it's a bonus, and that's something I actually look for in earbuds these days. Unfortunately, Bose themselves don't have any earbuds that support wireless charging, which is really strange. I hope they can learn from this partnership. These buds are supposed to have 8 hours of playback time with noise cancelling turned off. Obviously, you can plug them back in and charge them to get another 3 hours in 10 minutes when they're plugged in, not on the wireless charging pad, because the wireless charging pad is a bit slow. The Bose branding on the case, what does that mean? Let's talk about what has Bose actually done with these earbuds, what is the sound tuning they've done, and as a short answer I can say for 130 bucks you cannot get something better than this. That's my opinion as of now. Pixel Bud A is something that I have right now, and they don't even come close. I mean, they don't have noise cancelling. The feature set that you have is another thing we can talk about, but just the sound is delicious. Here's the app. I want to show the app as well while I'm talking about this, and I'm watching speed in this, so it's a pretty good app. Just let's watch speed and browse the app. You can see there is an equalizer here, there is your noise cancellation options, and then there's a gesture. You can also select if you want to pair two devices or one. Some buds have an issue with pairing with two devices and giving you high-res audio, but these buds are okay. Also, I forgot to mention, these do support high-res audio, which is good if you're using something like a FLAC codec, or if you're using Apple Music high-res or Spotify premium high-res. Wait, Spotify didn't launch high-res yet. Don't know when that's gonna happen. Coming back to the app, the EQ is really good. You can see you have the custom option here where you can just dial in your EQ. It's got a couple of bands, so you really need to know what you're doing here. It's a bit complicated. Not the easiest EQ to use, I would say, just because it's got so many bands, and you really need to know what you're doing. Move any of the sliders to get the sound that you really want. But if you look at the options that we have here, all these presets are really what they actually say, and because the drivers are such high quality, nothing is ruining the audio quality. If you got a brilliant treble, the sound is so crisp and detailed. I mean, I was surprised that these earbuds are handling it without any distortion. The clarity is there. Like, when I think about Bose, I'm thinking about the mids, I'm thinking about the vocals, and just the general detail and clarity. I mean, and that's something these earbuds have, but it's like a pinch of salt, really, because like I mentioned earlier, these have a woofer and a tweeter, so they're really good with the bass. They handle the bass really well, they handle the treble really well, but then something in the middle, these two drivers don't really talk to each other well, and I feel like the mids are missing. If I have to define this EQ, the default EQ for these earbuds, it's a wide U. What I mean by that is the bass is slightly lifted and then the treble is lifted, and they do a really good job. If you're listening to hip hop and R&B, it's going to sound incredible because there isn't much going on in the middle frequencies except the vocals, which is still fine. The vocals do sound a bit pulled back, but in R&B and hip hop I had no issues. The vocals were really clear, like I would expect Bose earbuds to do, but it's not like the modern Bose earbuds that we know about, where it's a fuller sound. So what this broad U EQ does is it leaves some gaps, as I mentioned. The sound of a cymbal is a bit too harsh in my opinion. It's not natural, because if I try to explain, as the EQ is heightened on the treble side, the higher frequencies of the cymbal is actually a bit too loud, makes it, the sizzle is too sharp, that's what I would say. Same thing happens with the snare, it sounds right, but just because the middle of the EQ is a bit pulled down, the snare is a bit too light, it doesn't have the full body of a snare. And then if you come to the lower side, the sub bass is really good, the kick is really punchy, but then there is this missing part between the vocals and the bass guitar. Primarily where the bass guitar would sit is a bit too weak in my opinion. I mean, I'm the type of guy who's looking for a flat sound as much as possible. Just give me a slight boost, a slight wide U is what I would say, but not as deep as this U EQ is. I'm gonna stop saying U EQ because I think it's gonna just drive you insane. So I'm gonna switch to the noise cancelling and come back to the sound in a bit. Noise cancelling on this is surprisingly very good. So I used it in an office environment, I used it during a commute and just in the mall, just trying to just see what's happening around. In general, the higher frequencies are suppressed very well when I'm not listening to music, but I can still listen to people just like, they're talking something behind me, I can hear that. But as soon as I turn on the music, everything drowns out, so it's fine. So I can see them being really good for the flights, I mean the short flights. 8 hours is still okay, but I don't know if I want to take them for a longer flight, like a 10-hour flight. I'd have to take a break and then charge my earbuds. But the noise cancelling is good. The transparency mode is actually really good. I would compare them to a Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, where it feels like I'm not wearing anything. If I put something like a Comply foam tips on this, I would probably not even realize I'm wearing anything. The only thing I would feel at this point with these buds is the silicone tips, they go in my ear. I can kind of hear myself inside, when you shut your ears and then you talk, you can hear yourself inside your nasal area and stuff, so something like that. But other than that, noise cancelling is really good. Like, what can you ask for $130 US? This is just incredible, feature packed. Now let me just bring back the EQ for a second and talk about the sound. The bass on these are slightly boosted when it's on the default EQ, but what happens is you might feel like the bass is missing in certain songs, and that's happening because of one, the treble is boosted. So if you're listening to something like a rock music, the guitar sound is gonna be coming straight in your ears and it's gonna make you feel like that the bass on the kick drum and the bass guitar is not strong enough, but it's happening because of the broad U EQ. I was trying not to say the U, but I have to say that's how the sound is. Now the other thing I feel throughout this whole experience is, another thing that Bose has probably done is have an active EQ behind the default sound of these buds, what you see in the app, because I feel sometimes the vocals are really strong, sometimes the bass is really strong, like it seems like it's doing an active EQ in the background. I can't be sure, but it just feels like they do something. Maybe it's a volume change or something like that, but it feels like it has an active EQ in the back, which is just tweaking the sound. And I would expect someone like Bose to put that kind of sound in there. I'm sure it's something that Bose has it in his previous products, and they've just licensed the technology to Motorola to use it with their own tweaks. Talking about the soundstage on these, it's not wide enough that I would want it to be. For some reason it feels like the singer's right in my face instead of having some separation, but the instruments are right behind. And again, it's probably the broad U-shaped EQs, because the detail and the clarity is there in the higher frequencies and the lower frequencies, but the mids are just there in the background. So I don't know, it's just an illusion, I feel. I mean, sound is an illusion itself. You like bass boosted songs, you put these earbuds into bass boosted EQ, they will have the detail in the trebles and then they feel really good. I mean, if you're looking for a flat sound, these buds might not be the one to go with, but if you want to turn on the bass, select the bass boost profile, you're not going to be disappointed, because these buds are going to sound so good. They got the deep bass, the treble is fine. I mean, hip hop and R&B, as I said, is sounding so good. Like, I have no problem listening to any Weekend songs, they're fine. Now I just want to steer this conversation a bit towards the issues I faced, because everything is not gonna be great. Otherwise I would be telling you to just go ahead and buy this. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm just gonna give you my thoughts and you can decide what you want to do. So a couple of problems I had with this was the gesture control. Now, I've not talked about it because I feel this is a weak point of these earbuds. These are the stem style earbuds, and I personally struggle using gestures on such earbuds because the contact patch is really small, and when I try to touch the stems I can move them, which results in the fit changing, and then I have to adjust the buds and more invalid gestures that I actually did not want. So first thing was pausing the music. They have it set to be defaulted as touch and hold, which I feel should be an option to change to a tap, because the touch feels really long. It feels like 3 to 5 seconds. I would just touch my ear and I would sit there and I'm just waiting for something to happen to only realize that I've not touched the right part. Then I would just do it again. So I'm just standing like this in the middle of the gym, for example, or in the office, and then the people are like, what is wrong with this guy? I mean, so that was an issue with me. So I just stopped using the gesture to pause the music or just pull the earbuds out, which thankfully is good because the music automatically pauses and it's instant. I mean, I have no issue with the sensor and the technology there, but the gesture controls, I'm sure Motorola can push and update and change this so that it can be a tap if I want it to be. I mean, it should not be that difficult. Other than the gestures, I had a weird bug with the Pixel 5. I feel this bug is due to the mid-range chipset the Pixel 5 has, so other people with the mid-range chipset and not a flagship might face this. The issue I was facing was the sound would break every second, it would skip, and it seemed like a Bluetooth issue. That's why I'm saying it's probably a chipset thing, and Pixel 5 is a really old phone. I didn't have any issues with the iPhone 15 Pro, and I tried it with the iPhone SE, that is my spare phone, just sits on my desk. That was absolutely fine. So it seems like an isolated thing, but I thought I'd just mention to people, anybody who has a mid-range chipset might face this, but that was my experience. So all in all, if this is gonna be your first pair of earbuds, you've not really dealt with high quality earbuds, I mean, you can just go straight ahead and pick these up. You're not going to be wrong if you want to gift it to somebody who's looking to upgrade. Their basic earbuds they had, if you had an AirPod, first generation, second generation, third generation, but not a Pro, then you can just go ahead and get this, because I feel the AirPod Pros are way better than this as a whole rounded package for Apple users. But if you're an Android user and you want something like the AirPod Pros, with a bit more customizability, and that it works with all your devices just like the AirPod Pro works with every single Apple device, these are insane. The Bose DNA is there, but the Bose DNA of really strong vocals, that isn't there. The noise cancelling is there, and it's really good, but it's like a 90% of what Bose offers on their products. But then the Bose products are a bit more bigger. These are really small, really tiny. But then the Bose products are a bit more comfortable when they go in your ears. These are fine, but these are just normal fine. So it's a lot of back and forth, and it's hard to decide. And that's what I would leave you with. I don't want to leave you confused. I just want to leave you with all the information that I have, and then you can decide what you want to do. For me, I'm gonna keep these. These are a really great pair of backup earbuds that I want to just keep. But let me know what your thoughts are on this. Leave a comment down below if you like this, and if you're stuck so long, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. I've been working on an iPhone 15 Pro video for a long time, but that phone has so many things going on for it, and I'm always trying to find this different angle that I can introduce the phone to you. So it's gonna come at some point, but stick around. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.